What's up, y'all? This is Snipes-n-Snarfblatts, your unauthorized place for Disney, Pixar, Marvel, and Lucasfilm. I'm your host, Jason, and we just got back from Star Wars The Last Jedi. As you can see, I was fully prepared. Had my Wookiee hat, had my trusty lightsaber, because you never know what you're going to get into, but if you're going to go to a Star Wars premiere, you better bring a lightsaber. And wow! I've got to start this off with wow. This movie is a lot to take in, y'all. And it is going to be even harder to give y'all a spoiler-free review of this movie. Because this movie drops a spoiler every 20 minutes. And by spoiler, I define spoiler as something I would not have wanted to know going into that theater. Because this movie delivers them. Oh, man. All the answers you wanted, you will get them. They just will not be all the answers you wanted. We'll go further in on that later as well as I can figure out how not to explain that without giving spoilers, because everything, if you thought you knew what was going to happen and you actually do, my hat's off to you, because you've thought of some amazing things that I never even dreamed of, nor have read in any of the hypotheses people had for what was going to happen in this movie. But Star Wars The Last Jedi, first off, it starts off like Empire. And when I say it starts off like Empire, I mean it like, bam, breakneck, here you go, war, Star Wars. It starts off and puts you into the action like Empire did. After that, as it starts to really start giving out some exposition and whatnot, it does it much like Jedi did in that last, like, third or last quarter of Jedi. You know, when it was Jedi, war, Jedi, war, Jedi, war. Yet everything affected everything that was going on. That's kind of how this was through the whole movie. Like, I mean, they went back and forth, yet everything affected everything in the long run. And, man, the effects were amazing. That just, wow, y'all. Like, I'm trying to stutter away from spoilers. If you hear me stutter, it's because I'm almost saying something that maybe I should not say. But, so first we'll hit this character for character, I guess. And first and foremost, Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker. He was amazing. This is the best performance that Mark Hamill has ever given as Luke Skywalker. And I was a little worried about that going in. It's been a while since he's actually hit the screen and not just been the Joker behind an animation. Like, I mean, we had to see him emote. We had to see Luke Skywalker again. And, whew, it goes places that you never dream it goes. And it does it beautifully. That man is amazing. And just as amazing is Adam Driver and Rey. I always forget the girls. Daisy Ridley. Daisy Ridley is Rey. They were, without it, you have to mention them as well. And that's what this movie does best. Is I've never seen a movie, even not 20 years apart from the sequels, I've never seen a movie transgress itself throughout parts and shift its focus as well as this movie shifts its focus onto the newer characters. Like this, the torch passing of these movies, starting with The Force Awakens, and now just you can see the torch getting passed off. I've never seen it passed off more beautifully than they're passing it off. It's great to see how this all works out, because these three people are amazing. Like I said, Mark Hamill, he's amazing performance, but Adam Driver and Daisy Ridley, oh man, these two are intense, and I hope the Star Wars curse doesn't hit them, and I hope they get to break free of this, much like Harrison Ford, because I would love to see them do more, because I think there's some real talent there. Or Adam Driver really is Kylo Ren, and Daisy Ridley just really is Rey. And hey, that's happened before. That could happen right now, because these two are amazing in these roles. Little tidbits here and there from all the new characters. All the new characters really get their chance to shine. All the old characters get their chance to shine. That's all I'm going to say, though, about the characters, because I really, really don't want to get into spoilery territory. Because Poe has his issues he's going through. He works through them well. And I tell you what, that boy is the best pilot in the Resistance, and he proves it in this film. If you didn't think he was in that last one, you will know he is by the end of this one. I have never seen X-Wing piloting like you see in this movie. It was astonishing. And that's just wow. Like, that's more going to this director, because I'm moving on through the cast. Now I got to get to the director, because Rian Johnson, you deserve that Star Wars trilogy you're getting. You understand Star Wars better than anyone who's got behind Star Wars in a long time. You understand, I think you understand Star Wars more than George Lucas understands Star Wars now, and he created it. This feels like there was a fan behind it. This feels like somebody who had some love for this stuff was really behind this movie, because he, like I said, he takes it places that you're not even going to dream it's going to go. And, I skipped a character. I can't skip Snoke. Snoke, y'all. The reason I skipped Snoke probably is because they're going to keep Snoke, much like the Emperor, I think. You know how in the first trilogy, in all honesty, before the books, we didn't know anything about the Emperor. Like, Darth Sidious, we knew nothing about him at all. So, it's kind of no question that I have a feeling they're going to do the same with Snoke, because, I mean, they're keeping him very shrouded still. I mean, he is definitely an Emperor-like character, except for the fact that he might be stronger than the Emperor. Snoke does things that are pretty amazing that I'm not sure the Emperor had in him. I'm sure he had in him at one time, but by the time we saw him as the Emperor in Jedi, he might have been a little, that Force lightning might have been the last Force lightning that was going to come out of that boy. But yeah, all in all, this movie is really, really good, and I'm sure you have those three people and Rian Johnson to thank the most, but everybody played their part. Poe played their part. The new girl played her part. Finn played his part. Everybody did what they were supposed to do, and they did it spectacularly. The animals that have been showcased, the porgs, they are adorable. They are Star Wars' Tribble. If you don't know what a Tribble is, live long and prosper. Wow, they were awesome. The animals were really neat. I liked even the crystal wolves. I didn't think the crystal foxes, crystal wolves, the crystal thingies. They were cool. They moved beautifully. Like, watching them move was great. I felt like there wasn't enough of them. You definitely got more porg action than you got crystal action. But I mean, look, space penguins, come on. Like, of course you're going to get more porg action. But yeah, all the creatures in this were cool. They had a big creature scene when you had a big alien thing in one of the planets, Canto Bite. And all the planets were neat. I liked Crate. The salt planet was cool. We've seen stuff like that in movies, though. The more the dust started flying up, though, and the salt started flying and all the red mist was everywhere, the planet got really cool once the battle started. So I see why that landscape was chosen, because it made a great effect to battle. Let's see, there was Ahch-To, which was the island which all the porgs are on, and Luke was on, and the caretakers, love the caretakers, they took care of the old Jedi temple that's on Ahch-To. And that was cool. Ahch-To was really neat. That's a beautiful place. No wonder they only let them film for so long on it, because that place is beautiful. To get a really better look at it and the areas around it, because obviously the whole thing wasn't shot on the island. But, oh man, that was beautiful area. And now, I mentioned Canto Bite, and you notice I skipped over it to the other two planets. And I skipped over it because, y'all, Canto Bite was awesome. I had to save the best for last. If Mos Eisley is like the scummiest, most downtrodden bar in the galaxy, Canto Bite is its exact polar opposite. This is where all the high rollers shine, you know what I'm saying? This is where everybody, the arms dealers, because obviously when you're in a world where it's just Star Wars, arms dealers have got all the money. But yeah, this is where they all hang out. This is where you run into Benicio del Toro's character, who I didn't know if I really liked as much at first, but the more they got into his character, and the more he talked, and the more he developed, the more I was like, I want to see this guy some more, or at least a lot more of his character, because this character's pretty cool. He's got some insight that has really been big in the books and whatnot, and now is just now going to start becoming big in the show. In the movies, it looks like. Once again, don't want to get too spoilery. Don't want to get into that. people that are fan of the video games and the books and have heard of splicing, you do get to see some splicing in this movie, which I thought was really, really cool. That was awesome because I've always wondered how that would work. I mean, I've spliced many a lock and many a computer, or sliced, my bad, many a lock and many a computer in video games, but I never knew what that really looked like other than push the button to slice. So you get to see that. That's neat. Let's see. That's the worlds. That's the actors. That's pretty much the whole thing. So overall, I really liked this movie. I would, like I said, I don't know. I've told everyone I don't know where it stands with me. It's definitely better than Rogue One. It's definitely better than the prequels. I don't know where it stands with the original and The Force Awakens, though, because I just watched The Force Awakens again, and man, that's a really good movie. This one takes it to a whole nother level, and it really turns everything so upside down that's the reason I have to see it again before I really even know how I feel. I do know there's not one thing I didn't like about it. I mean, if I had to pick something that I didn't like, I didn't like the Red Throne Room. There you go. That bothered me. I don't know why it bothered me, but the Red Room bothered me. If you put me in that room, you would really have me unnerved. That's probably why it looks like that in the first place, because it's so unnerving. But like I said, hats off to everybody. Great performances from everybody. Go see this big. I saw it at IMAX. I would suggest doing the same thing. See it in the first weekend. That's all that counts. Let them know that we want this saga to keep going even past episode 9, because after you watch this one, you're going to be like me. You're not going to be able to wait for episode 9. Like I let my excitementness, if that's a word, fall back a little bit after I saw Force Awakens, because I knew I had some time between Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, so I didn't want to kill myself with anticipation. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that this time. This is much like Empire Strikes Back, and after you watch that movie, you want to know what happens next. I want to know what happens next. I cannot wait. Give me more. Give me more. I cannot praise this movie as much because I really enjoyed it. I took a 4-year-old with me who has never sat still through a movie in her life, and even the 4-year-old sat still through this whole movie. Yeah, dressed as Rey, which was adorable. But like I said, if you ask her, I've said this before, if you ask her, she thinks the movie's about BB-8, which, you know what? I guess it kind of is. BB-8's awesome, and she loves BB-8. So there you go. She just wanted to see some porgs. But that's it for the movie, as far as I know. Check the description for links for anything we got going on. Probably won't see y'all again till the new year. We got some really exciting things planned for the new year. So check the links in the description for the website, Facebook, Twitter. Follow us on everything so you know where we're going and you can keep up. And until then, may the Force be with you. Always.